Let's
All right,
go.
let's go. So first and foremost, happy Wednesday. Um, I hope everyone had a great week, good progress everywhere, in everything you proposed to do past week. How is everyone doing?
Great.
How where have you landed in the idea challenge of last week?
Well, go ahead, Carlos. Okay.
Okay, I can go super fast. Danny can show, but what we focused on was what's the best way to put it? When you have a lot of sales calls booked or demos for a specific service of or product, when you have a lot of booked calls happened and happens, this is normal. Sometimes marketing ebbs and flows. Sometimes for whatever reason the market is hitting better with your message, so you booked a lot more calls, and then you feel the need as a business owner, you feel like you need to hire a new closer. And we learned that not necessarily you want to increase more people, you want to bring more humans. You can use AI to then have a very nice filtering system and then give all of these people who booked a call a seriousness or qualification score. So then you can see which of all of the boot calls that you're getting, which ones are the ones with the highest chance of actually being a good client that is going to be a success case for your product or your service. And that's what we are currently building.
What is the status?
Ah, the status right now is we're currently on the planning phase. Actually, I can share my screen very quickly over here. Let's see. Right now, what do we have is actually a Figma. No, I have the Figma over here. My bad. My computer just restarted because I had a lot of things open. Uh, so right now we have this Figma. We have already have the tools and the tech stack that we need. So today, actually, I will complete this prototype at least. That is basically that when a visitor, or we have a LinkedIn signal, basically, like Carlos said. So there is lead in the market in on the CRM, and then we enrich the data. So we use GPT to qualify and give a score to the lead according to the specific form. The leverage that we have here is that Clay allows us to not only get into the form of the people that use the on the CRM, meaning that we can use the LinkedIn profile, the URL, we can actually dig a little bit deeper on each lead and not actually needing to take more time. So that's what we do. And like Carlos said, this the score over here. And then if the score is above 80, then it's high priority. So we receive an alert, we receive a hotspot task, and the Carlos or the closer will get the lead. So yeah.
That makes sense. Two questions I have from that flow. First, why HubSpot and not your own CRM? What is the advantage?
Yeah, Hotspot has a more seamless connection with Clay. It's more direct and it is not a lot of coding since I don't know how to code.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. Why Clay?
So far, I've tested that against Apollo, and honestly, the Clay agents that they have, the logic is more user friendly, and we can actually sell it to other people.
Okay, okay, yeah, it looks very solid. And the second, the third question now. Uh, what is the criteria of evaluation? How does yeah, what does that determine that it is a good lead or not?
That is an actually good question, my friend.
Yeah, actually, that's the most important one of all the questions I did.
Yeah, totally. Let me go ahead actually, and I just want to share with you guys how we actually do this, because these are questions that I was going with Carlos, and on my end, I'm a very anxious person, meaning that I need every answer. Like if Fer is asking me this, I need to know the question and the answer before. So one of the things that we did was basically going through all of these questions with Manus, and we got this. I think it's in downloads. Uh, System design. So I'm doing this with you guys on calls because I don't want anyone to feel like you have to be perfect or have all the answers at hand. That you should, but you shouldn't feel bad if you don't. Make sense? Perfect. So, advanced systems, Carlos plan, how to, So the how to is basically we feed the AI the stretch innovation ICP, high revenue. So Clay allows us to know if that person works on a company, or how much are like the company does, how many people do they have, how many much revenue do they have. So from that perspective, and if they're hiring and investing on I don't know, more jobs or more people, we know that they are a good fit. So hiring for growth and clear pain points in form, basically. So it is like a criteria from the form to the Clay investigation, hiring growth, and that's the logic, the criteria from there.
Okay, makes sense. And okay, that's a good starting point for determining who should be a hot, warm, and cold uh, outreach or lead. But something I will add in the process is also learning by what happened after it recommended you that this person was a hot lead, and you engaged with this person, and how everything ended up. And if it can learn about that outcome, it can do it better the next time it scores this way. So that will be like the fourth criteria I would add.
Like a feedback loop.
Hmm.
Okay.
That would have to be like another micro agent virtual.
Hmm.
It's like another micro flow, like another.
Yes, yes, one that evaluates the outcome and maybe write some notes that the agent evaluating can take and use every time it evaluates again.
Meaning that when gets to the call or after the this ends, have another agent that gives feedback and puts it on a database or something so they can learn.
Yep, yeah, like a feedback agent. And
Okay.
you need to when you build that, you need to ask it to have full like every 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 feedback it provides you will live like in a database or in a memory data document or whatever you want to use, but
Mm-hmm.
it needs to be aware of all the previous answers it has given you, so it can optimize over time. Because if not, let's say you get 10,000 leads or 1 million leads
Yeah.
evaluated, what will happen if you don't optimize it? You will have a long file that the evaluator agent will not be able to tackle properly over time, and it will like that will end up being not an optimal flow for you, and you will have to end up detaching that service from the flow. So
How
it's
how
that
Yeah,
you.
how would you do that? Like the feedback agent basically goes to the database, and then we have another one, or would you have like on Supabase? Let's say that we're using Supabase, so we
Mhm.
have different tables that it should review first, or how would that work?
Yeah, there is a function in Supabase called edge functions. Edge functions allow you to create serverless functions
Mhm.
and that interact with your database anytime you want. And what I will do is first asking, like creating an edge function that first uses agent for evaluating the output of one lead that you finish and you mark as finish or it was marked as finish. Then checking out if there is anywhere in your memory or in database of feedbacks something that looks similar. If there is something looking similar, it can maybe just skip this one or mark it as like same as the other ones, so that way you can know the frequency of this outcome,
Mhm.
and also the date, so it can also know like how often it's happening and it has been a recurrent issue over time,
Mhm.
recently, or it's just like something historical.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, that's what I will do it. Uh, After that, that's a way to maintain a
So
clean data.
it, that would basically be like, because yeah, this GPT agent will be uh like here it would be like a couple of agents that work in sequence before getting to the score,
Hmm.
right? So is the agent that reviews the database and finds the match, and then an agent that can score the lead, something like that.
Yes, yes, that will be another score, lead scoring system there, um, fed by the other one that gave feedback. And I think the feedback should be something that it could apply to this selection phase. If not, like if the feedback is, oh, the person looked great, but during the call something happened that like the call does not matter when the GPT-4o is picking if it's a cold, warm, or hot priority. What
Yep.
it matters is maybe if there was an element that was warning you earlier that this was not a hot, high priority lead. That's what I will try to pick there. Try to infer that.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
I recommend you researching a bit more about that. Looking for maybe there is something else in the process that we are missing, and will be better to add if we want maximum performance.
Yeah, perfect. Man, just so I can give you the words to other one to other person. Have you tried Air Hermes by any chance?
I have read a lot of it about it. I know it auto learns, but I
Hmm.
haven't tried it.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right, all right, all right. Okay,
Have you tried
so
it?
Edu, is Edu over here in call? Yeah, I wanna hear about you, my friend. What's the project that you're working on?
Hi, well, I only have the idea right now, but what I want is because one of the things I want to do early in the morning is to do some trading, but well, I don't have time to do that for because the work and then the market is closed and whatnot. So I want like an agent that I can put the strategy that I want to. So interactive broker have like an MCP that I can use. So I want to put the strategy and then go for a slow profit uh, every day. So basically that, and that learns from the uh, operation that works. So to earn more money with that.
Basically, yeah, basically the same that we were talking, Fer. Like some agent that can self-learn.
Yeah, that really sounds important to me. The feedback loop, because I don't want that thing to start making useless operations, right? So if it can learn every time, that's optimal.
Yeah, you could like. Do you have a strategy in mind already, or do you want to explore strategies?
No, I'm just exploring at the moment. So any suggestions? It would be amazing, honestly.
It depends on what you want to trade. If you want to trade stocks, crypto, futures, options,
Yeah.
all of them have different strategies, as all of them operate a bit differently. Um, to ask it for recommendations, I would recommend you checking out options.
Yeah.
And what else? Even prediction markets are interesting right now, like Polymarket. Um, but start just with one. Start with one. And if you are not sure about what do you want to trade, uh, first you need to establish what is your goal. If you want something like quick or something slow but sustainable, and like check which of these different markets will be better for your goals and which one aligns better. Then after that, start creating a like a play money platform
Hmm.
that you can pair like with interactive brokers, as you say. There are many actually trading companies giving now access to agents. I have seen like on crypto Kraken client is giving access. What else? Polymarket also provides easy access to agents, interactive brokers as well. Um, yeah, and then like create that play money platform and put it to like set a, like 5 to 10 strategies, put them to compete one to each other, and there you can see which one looks more promising to you. Make sure that you are using a backend that is fast enough to operate in the same pace you will operate in real life with real money. Because if not, all the effort you do uh, will be worthless.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
yeah, like maybe you can ask the AI to create the backend in Rust and the front end could be Next.js, and that's fine. Uh, and what else? It's also important where you serve the like where you mount the backend. It's better when you mount it in a server that is close to where the servers of the operator are. Like let's say Interactive Broker have a server on North Virginia, and it's they use AWS, so you go and publish your backend in an AWS North Virginia server. That grants you will have a quicker response time, and that's very important. Depending on the strategy, also obviously, if the strategy is like something that happens in a signal that means the market will keep growing a few days, and it's a mid-term or long-term strategy, that not does not matter that much. But if you're trying to go into short-term strategies, you need high frequency
Yeah,
data and the best response possible.
that's an awesome tip. Thanks. So basically, that's it. Yeah. So I was thinking on indexes like the Nasdaq and S&P 500, but yeah, stocks could be good and
Yeah.
options as well. Yeah.
SPY is the easiest one. QQQ and SPY are the two easiest ones to start practicing with stocks. And also like the Tesla, Nvidia,
Yeah.
not financial advice, but
The
uh,
short one.
those are like the ones with the most volume are the ones where you will get more predictable
Yeah.
uh, outcome. Will your odds of doing it right will be higher.
Awesome.
Anything else you would like to discuss about your idea?
No, at the moment that will be it. Thanks for the tips, guys.
Who else wants to discuss?
Hey Fer, how you doing?
Great, great, great. How are you doing?
Doing great. Give me just 1 second to make sure this is connected. All right, go. There we go. So basically, what I'm currently working on. So here's the thing. I contact and have a big channel of acquisition, which is LinkedIn, utilizing the system that pretty much Charlie, gave to all of us. Um, so they are in a message campaign which sends them connection message connection request, actually visit, like, connection requests, and then sends them a sequence of messages. Then people reply. So what I wanted to set up, at least for my specific case, is some sort of, I don't want to call it chatbot, but like like agent that I guess handles the few questions that we do before we move a lead that has interest to WhatsApp, in which we finish the booking, since it's a lot easier to book calls in WhatsApp where people are more active rather than on LinkedIn. At least for our case, that's what we've found. So here's the thing: what we've actually recollected, or what I have done so far, is a little bit of strategy and a little bit of data collection. Let me show you over here on my second window. There we go. There's all the beautiful faces over here. So we have actually recapped and served in markdown files, like the chats, for example, that were booked and closed, clients, chats that were transitioned to WhatsApp, to identify patterns and to fit this data to the agent that we're gonna create. So we've gotten a little bit of that, and how to handle even objections. So yeah, we have all that saved up, more than 200 chats. Now I'm thinking on the infrastructure. I've seen that it's either, at least for my case, simplicity, going through Google Sheets or Airtable, which Airtables allows for faster, data retrieval and such. And I've pretty much on the strategy part seen using an N8N automation. I would guess going for something that's hosted by N8N in this case, and connecting it through Lemlist. Lemlist is actually, well, Charlie utilize Prosp AI. Lemlist is basically the same thing. It just doesn't have the option to like a post, but it's the same thing. So I can handle LinkedIn chats the same way. The one thing with this that I definitely have to take in consideration is that LinkedIn has very strict bot detection. So I have to make it so the agent takes actions, like not repetitively, but I guess, take action somewhere in between 2 to 5 seconds. So one time it takes an action 3 seconds, another one 3.5 seconds, another one 2 seconds, something like that. That's also something that I gotta take in consideration. So I'm still in this fully, strategizing part of it.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's pretty much the stage that I'm at. I'm like, still in the in the strategy, not a lot in the execution. Well, I guess I'm a little bit on the execution on the data collection side, but that's where I'm at right now.
Okay. Do you have a Do you have by any chance like a knowledge based document, the main data feed of the chatbot? Like not the chats itself, not the historical chats, but like your main document where you have many questions and answers. Do you have that by any
Oh
chance?
yes, I do have an SOP that we use specifically for LinkedIn. Let me show you. In which not only we have like the initial message and everything that is sent. Actually, there's one that is for the bot directly. Give me just a moment. I'd have to check it where I left it at, but it's basically the same thing as this, in which, as you can tell, it has how to respond to objections. There's an objection, how to respond. There's another objection, how to respond, and so and so and so and so on. So there's a whole structure on how to handle conversations, even what is being done before. Maybe that's not too much of interest for the bot, but yeah, I pretty much have plenty of context for all that, in regards to data, the data aspect at least.
Okay. Mm,
Even how to pitch the transition to WhatsApp, to make it make sense.
yes. Yes. I'm seeing it all, and I think the most crucial part here
Hmm.
is having the right data, the right data structure, the right answers, the right way to evaluate it, or to explain the AI how it should evaluate what it should say. Uh,
Mm.
like all the technical challenges are, like, you are already telling me how to handle them, but just by watching this document, I'm wondering if the an AI will be able to successfully reply consistently something that
Mm.
can really be the kind of answer you wanted. Maybe what I will do is first, initially, not allowing the AI to reply directly, but just like creating drafts and
Mhm.
make sure that it's learning properly and that everything aligns with what you wanted. And you just like click a button and that sends the reply. So semi-automatic at the beginning.
Mm.
Um, Another thing I will do is creating more synthetic data. Like it may be that like I don't know how much data you have from chats. Maybe it's a lot, but sometimes we believe a lot is a lot, and for the AI it's not a lot still.
Mm.
It's like 32 calls. Yeah, so maybe I will ask the AI to create a persona from your chat, like determine what is your target audience. And do you have actually in those chats? Do you have like an indicator of who has been who has become a customer and who
Yeah,
doesn't? Okay,
exactly. I have a registry of chats booked and closed. I have a registry of chats that were not booked, but at least transitioned to WhatsApp. That is the end goal for the bot. I don't want them to book them. I want it to show me what's the number of the guy and have some sort of intent towards purchasing the service, in a way in which I can then use as leverage to book the call. I even have some disqualified chats in special cases. And then I also have chats lost, which show no interest, object or objection mishandling.
okay,
Those are the
Before we can
rundown document.
continue, thank you so much, Frank. Something that for everyone on call to see, to pay attention, that there is a main focus here, and we might not be talking about it, but for everyone that has a project, even Isra, for example, Edu, Samu, that I know that you have tons of projects, and Juan that already has the app. Something that you guys want to focus on now with the AI is the logic behind it, right? Like Fer is asking questions for the agent to make the right decisions, but if you can see, is not, we're not talking about tools, we're not talking about what model of AI you're using. No, it's like what is the condition that the specific step or the specific task should have, that the AI can see in plain sight that is the correct or bad decision. And that is something very, very powerful, because on the things that are happening right now, guys, we're talking a lot about tools. Oh, see that we're using this, we're using that, but with these projects, we need to focus on the logic. What is the conditions? What is the score, for example, for fair? for friend, like what do the data looks like, right? That's something that you want to add that we can implement with this, like what
Yes.
is something that that Frank can use like in 3 minutes?
Yeah, so like when I am in planning phase, I'm very challenging with the AI. I'm always challenging and wondering, like even like I'm challenging even the whole idea. Like, okay, this I want to do this because this is the way I used to do it, but is this the best way I can do it? So I always ask all kind of questions that can challenge my idea before even committing to it. And I will like here. I think if you want to build this and this is the right approach, you have some like solid base here, but I will expand it before even committing to creating the full platform or the full automation. um, and I will first expand the data you have. I will make it evaluate each of those files in a way where it determines if may be useful to have also like a persona document where we can have a very well established, like let's say 10 to 20 personas that match your target audience, multicultural, different education levels, etc. And with that persona defined plus the data you have, you could start creating synthetic data, and this synthetic data could sum up to all the chats you have. That way, you don't need to interview or chat with 10,000 more users for finding things that you will be the AI will be able to find for you in minutes
Mm.
with with that approach. And um, I think the master document here is definitely the questions and answers you have. So I will challenge the format of that document. I will ask the AI if this is the right way. I don't know if you've done it already, but I would like the AI to tell me if that's the right way to talk to it if we want the output that we want.
Okay, actually, now that you said that, let me show you. This was the one that I made for the bot. Because this one has like, wait, let me show you. I don't know if it was this one. I have to check, but I understand what you mean. Something that's actually useful for it. So, what you're telling me is that this is definitely the most important one, the one that defines the logic, right?
Yes, yes. The other
Got it.
one for me is like training data that sums up to
Yeah.
this one, and this
Okay.
one will determine the character of the bot ultimately. If you want to try a bot that really works and I really like it, you can go to crisp.chat, crisp with p dot chat. It's a paid chat box. It has been around for many years. Big institutions use it, even banks,
Mm.
and you can get a trial and test all the AI features it does have. It does have an AI agent that replies for you, and it gets fed by two pieces. One piece is a knowledge base that you create. You can manually create all the questions and answers, or you can even connect, which is something I have done. You connect it via MCP and ask the AI to create all the questions and answers possible for your from your target audience.
Mm.
And after, besides that one, the other piece it uses is all the data it collects from all the chats it does have. So basically, like the same way you are doing it right there, you have
Mhm.
the questions and answer document plus all the chats, and it does it on the go. It works really well.
All right.
It's a good example of how can we um, create something like that.
Let's
It's
go.
not on LinkedIn. It does not work with LinkedIn, but ultimately it's a chatbot, and the LinkedIn part is not precisely the problem here, I would say.
Okay. Just a quick thing. So, yeah, like we were talking, the access point to LinkedIn that we're gonna do is Lemlist directly or Prosper AI, whatever it is. Uh, you said connected through, I guess, MCP or something. The one thing that I'm worried though is having LinkedIn detect that as robotic behavior.
Does Lemlist allow you to reply on LinkedIn without being considered a bot at all?
Uh, I mean, it allows me to reply on LinkedIn, but if I do it exactly at, let's say, 4 seconds every time, it's definitely gonna get flagged as robotic behavior, I guess. I would guess.
Do you have a way on Lemlist to like create drafts of every
Mm,
response?
drafts. Uh,
Like, can you
I
if you try to reply to someone and don't end up replying, just
Let's
leave it.
go. Those are good questions, Frank. We can set up a meeting later. But
all
those
right.
Yeah,
are
Yeah,
good.
yeah, that's fine.
So
That's
far,
something separate.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's something
yeah.
separate.
So far, I know that Lemdisk can allow you to reply. So it's like Prosper AI, and this is actually something that we can implement to everyone on call. Actually,
Yeah,
if Frank can
actually.
can use it. So let's
Mhm.
let's continue. Actually, I know that. Well, Emma haven't actually. Let me put a spot here for a second to Hector that he hasn't been active for a little while. So let's put it on the spot a little bit, Hector. Hector, how are you doing, my friend? How are the tacos?
Hi everyone. All good, thanks. I've been really busy with some deliveries I've got to do for this week of my unique client, so I've been really focused on that. And that's it.
Let's go, man.
Thanks.
Something AI related that you're working on right now.
Um, well, not really working on it right now, but I'm gonna do my final project for school, and it's gonna be actually it's funny because it's gonna be a copywriter AI. Like this AI will be, or well, the objective is this gonna be aware of the sports context. So I'm gonna be like scrapping a news and that kind of things to make the copy that the AI generates more human like. So it was funny that you were facing Fran was facing this same issue right now. So maybe I can share some findings in the next weeks when I actually deliver this, because I have 10 weeks to do this project. Yeah, that's it. So thank you.
Good. Fed, any questions so we can maybe help Hector?
No, actually, I would like to see, yeah, check out that idea deeper. It sounds very interesting, and I would like to see your approach on sports. Yeah, so as soon as you have something more elaborated on the idea, please share it with us, even on the school chat. That would be great.
Let's
Carlos?
go.
Yeah, sure. I'll keep you updated. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Yeah, Carlos was just he's too far away from the computer, so he's emoting right now.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Nice. So, Samu, how you doing, my friend? How are the projects?
I'm going there. After just finishing the most important, the most critical part of the transcribe app, I came back to what I was building. For context, Fernando, last month I started detecting some issues on the adoption of technology for dentists and the private sector here in Mexico City. So I conducted a research there with several of the private dentists here, and I found that they have two pains here. The first one is they spend a lot of time on answering all the WhatsApp messages and scheduling the appointments, but they have tried lots of chatbots and they had really bad experiences there. So they are saying basically not to anything that relates to AI in a chatbot version, and they also have that pain of duplicating the information that they have to gather every time they had an appointment. So they have to document what do they did for the patient, because it's a legal concern. At least here in Mexico City, you have to have everything organized on paper and also digital, because digital is not yet fully lawful for Mexico. So taking those two pains, I was building an automation for handling the appointments and reminders on N8N. And the first flow is easy because it starts with the dentist at the end of the appointment.
Can you share screen? Can you share screen so we can see it?
I don't have it right now here. I have frozen out all my screen, but I'm just describing this. Sorry for that. I'm gonna post the diagram on School. But basically, the first flow is the dentist creates the appointment. It's connected by N8N on the Google Calendar, and that also sends reminders to the contact on WhatsApp Business. The other thing is how to handle the messages that are coming without having a feeling of a chatbot. And with that, I've been playing around with the Olama LM and the context to try to just guide us as more human as possible the conversation, and asking when they want the appointment based on the availability of the calendar. I'm struggling right now because I think I have a concurrency problem, where if I have two users asking for the same time and they are colliding between the automation looking for the calendar and making a overlap of availability there. So I have to, I believe, change the way I'm executing the second part of this automation, because every time that I am looking at the calendar, it's like I'm holding the space for a few seconds, 5 to 10 seconds, and if that doesn't concrete the appointment, it free ups for other user and so on, but it's not behaving as I expected. And the third part is basically with the introduction of this LM. I went with the self-hosted LLM, because on tokens I was testing a bit my current automation with cloud, and it's chaotic. It's very costly for just looking for a calendar. So I had a discussion a couple months ago, I believe with you, Emmanuel, not sure. But yeah, it was with you. I was taking some of your ideas of your automation and rephrasing how to consume the LLM. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to do it, because that's right now my blocker to have a workflow that I can start selling. The most interesting thing for the dentist is gonna be like, I'm not offering a platform. They hate going into a platform and having to rework on having their notes on hand, and then on digital and several calendars and so on. So the offering for them is, let me connect your chat, your WhatsApp Business with your own Google Calendar, and with that you will handle all the automation, all the reminders and the feedback on the Google Maps Business if required, and a pretty simple interface saying, hey, week by week, this is your report, and that's it. You don't need to worry about doing anything else there. But that's the project that I'm continuing. The transcribe application that I did was also to test exactly how much I could improve the performance on the host of the execution, because currently Dr. Alia, which is one of the top competitors on the market for dentists in Latin America, they are offering a AI resumes of the patient information for 1,000 Mexican pesos per dentist, which is pretty expensive here. It's like, no, I prefer to still write it by myself and do it by myself. So I'm pretty sure that there I achieved a way to offer it for 500, 400 more or less, and that's gonna be pretty competitive for the dentists. But that's it for now.
Okay, I have a question for you. If you are in Mexico and you want to go to a dentist and you need to take an appointment, what is the most common way to do that? Is it via WhatsApp or is it via a phone call?
No, it's via WhatsApp. Usually, dentists are handle
Like
the
not
patients.
for
They can.
like,
Sorry.
for every dentist in the country, the regular way is via WhatsApp or just for this dentist?
It's via, yeah, mostly it's via WhatsApp. I interviewed 30 dentists in Mexico City. No one is taking calls nowadays. It's just via messages, WhatsApp messages.
Okay, so people is very used to taking appointments via WhatsApp there, basically.
Yeah, and it's pretty time consuming because people is like, hey, I want an appointment for next week. And then they went to all the availability for next week, and people say, hey, no, I believe it's going to be in 2 weeks. I'm not fitting to your agenda, things like that. So it's back and forth for a lot. There are platforms that produce a link where people can choose the in the calendar the appointment, and it's like the dentist just needs to make sure that the calendar is up to date and the patient can go inside of those portals. But the only issue there is that those calendars are not integrating well with the Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, and if they integrate it, it's with other cost, and most dentists are not paying it. So they start to have that pain of having their personal Google or Outlook calendar and the platform specific calendar, and the synchronization between both, it's manual and it confuses and creates stress.
Okay, and what's the other question? Wait a moment. Oh yeah. So it will have it will synchronize with it will sync with a calendar. And besides the calendar, is it a need for the dentist knowing if this is a new patient or an existing patient and his data overall in this system? Or I guess it's something they tackle after when the patient goes to to the consultation, but won't be like useful having the medical system, the dentist system integrated with this platform in a way they can know beforehand if this is a new patient or existing patient.
Yeah, usually most of the people goes into a dentist for first time by recommendation, and I'm not expanding yet my system to anything regarding marketing. So the only way we will know that it's a new patient is if it's not registered the number on the WhatsApp business. So that's the only way we know that, hey, you have a new client this week.
Okay. I asked those two questions because I was thinking that if you would like to like create a one platform that fits all, and not only that specific use case, and maybe you would like to have also uh, like a call agent that receives phone calls and talk with the people and take the appointment, and besides that also having the WhatsApp agent, like having multiple ways to allow patients to connect with different with their dentist, and also allowing the system to understand what are like if the patient is new or existing and what procedures have been done before, will also be useful for both the way the agent interacts with the patient, and also for informing the dentist what kind of customer he is receiving, and like improving the processes overall.
Yeah, I think I'm struggling there on scoping the problem because after a market research, at least in Mexico City, and for the market segment that I'm focusing, Those are dentists that are independent. They have their own clinic. They don't have a secretary or can't pay a secretary frequently, but they are growing on clients, so they have to handle everything. But they also have like a scope of how much money they could want to pay for a solution. So the most flexible that I could make my system via AI, it's increasing the costs in my opinion, in my experience, and I'm struggling because I really need to have the most optimal way to handle that cost of looking for the agenda before trying to offer anything else. For the clinic history of the patients, I'm storing it into PDF and into a Elasticsearch that allows me to do some correlational search without getting inside AI, but having like this vectorization of the strings and having the correlation and so on without burning any token there. So I'm really trying to get into a point where I can produce anything on AI that looks for an agenda in an efficient way, doesn't allow the client to spend like 50 messages just for one appointment, because that is burning on the credits or the infra that I have. So that's why I'm not expanding yet. Not sure if you all have had that experience, particularly for scoping the conversation of the user and between that and saying, "Hey, I'm not talking with a robot," which is the chatbot experience. The challenge is,
Like at the beginning, efficiency is the most important piece here. Like not even feeling human. Like people is used to talking with humans. Press one. If you want this, press two. Like being able to even like talk more interactively, it's an advantage. So if you can at least uh, take those appointments efficiently, that's a big advantage, I would say.
yeah, and that's what I'm trying to get to. Right now, I cannot create all the appointments and the on conversation. The bot, the AI model is doing weird
Yeah,
things. Yeah.
it's something I will tackle later, not for an MVP. That will be the approach there, I think. And also one more thing, check out the regulations in your country for handling clinical data. Here we have HIPAA, and there are very specific rules on how we handle with storing this data, and you are handling their patients' data, so it's very important to do it in the right way.
Yeah, indeed. Next week I have a meeting with one of the folks of the officers that regulate in Mexico that kind of information. Because indeed, there's in my market research there are four big competitors for my market. Only one of them is following the regulations, so I'm targeting to be the second one with the regulation from day one. And yeah, I'm following up that next week also.
Cool.
Respect. I just want to say a couple of things. Samuel, really, really, really use case, really good use case.
Thank you.
And we're so early in this whole AI wave and stuff that hyper specializing that specific workflow for your specific location, that's the way. And then for us to do ads is geolocated around you, so that you can go and do in-person meetings. And then what's been working for me really good for everyone on call to installing this automations is to go face to face, sitting down next to the owner of the business and doing it live with them, because then they really get like famoused by the fact that I'm right next to them doing the automation. So you're sitting in a really, really, really serious business, I can tell you.
Yeah, thank you, Carlos. Hopefully,
Yeah.
the 5% of the market would be a really 5% of the market just in this city, in Mexico City, it would be an amazing income for me. So
For sure, bro. I mean, for everyone. I mean, $3,000, $5,000 extra a month, 6,000 is serious money. In 12, it's like, and you can get better and better and better. And something that I'm learning from this session with Fercho here on call is to pay attention to the recursiveness. so that we're actually learning from every interaction. I think that's key, and to not just assume that that's expected from the clients, but to show them, that this robot, this AI thing is going to be learning from every interaction, but to tell them, because they don't know that and they don't understand that that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Cool. So everyone on call, Isra, good paying attention. Edu, Juan Carlos, good to see you. Hector too. So in the chat, I sent the post that Fercho did, asking for everyone's ideas, and just go there, put your idea, so that then we can give you better frameworks to make sure that there is a business need in terms of time, money, all of the three things that we always talk about. And Emma, Omi, for next week, please bring an idea that you're working on, because now you're seeing in real time the actual power of being on these calls. It's not only having Ferchu giving you technical advice and perspective, but also us connecting it with business needs so that we can actually build a business out of it. Cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
Got it.
So add homies ideas on the blog, on the post of Fercho. Make sure to do that, everyone on call, so we can give you better assistance. And also for all of you who had a little bit of an experience with Prospe AI, we found a cheaper version. Same thing, it's just cheaper. I send it on the group, on the chat. Make yourself an account. Next week, I want to take a couple of minutes to teach you how to run the campaigns with it. But it's validated. We already tried it and it's working. It's so much cheaper. Ferchu, if you want to close.
Like if anyone wanted to share his idea and wasn't able to do it due to time constraint, please do it in the chat, and I will reply to everyone there. And also, like if you guys have any other question during the week, I'll be there to assist you. Okay. Thank you everyone for sharing your ideas. I hope you keep going well on that. Please prepare, it would be great to have some screenshots, mock-ups, or something you can share next week, like visually, of your idea, as at least as Daniel did with his diagram. That's great too. For in like that's great for getting the discussion like deeper into the topic.
Yeah, sharing. So it starts with a very simple view. Everyone looking at my screen, yes?
Yes, that's a presentation Claude did for
It's
you.
just no. I just want to share, because I don't want people here thinking that they have to have this perfect thing that's going to change the world. Otherwise, they don't share nothing. So it's so simple for me to ask GPT. So this is a prompt that I asked GPT to create, and then I came to Claude, and it created like a first draft of what it could be. So for everyone on call here, I'm really business driven, right? So this is the name of the client, and I'm telling them, hey, you don't have a lead problem, you have a filtering problem, because they're booking a lot of sales calls. Like I said, they book a lot of sales calls, and they feel like their constraint is more closers. But we want to teach them that you don't need to add more people into their team if they could only talk to the best leads that actually book calls. So out of X amount of inbound leads, we do the AI pre-qualification that we discussed with the scoring logic that Fercho asked about. And then based on the lead score, we give them a nice little stage, meaning it can be a hot one, it can be a warm one, or a cold one. There's 33% of people who actually book calls because they're doing quote unquote research, or because they just have time. So that would be considered cold. And then what to focus on, So 60% are considered high intent leads, and we have a pipeline leakage of 80K. Consider that we already know what's their ticket prices. So, and then I rework it a little bit. I get a little bit of more details, and I effectively building. And this is a nice diagram of what it looks like. So in real life, we get an inbound lead captured, sent to the CRM, gets the contact data. We run the intent score. We update it into the CRM. Have 3 different flows based on the score. And as Fercho said, obviously we are gonna now add this little recursive module so that we can learn from every interaction. That's exciting. That might be the reason why I close tomorrow, because I have a sales call tomorrow.
That's another thing. Just before closing, something that you guys want to do. If you're actually, if you don't know what to do, this is something that I've been working on. Right, I'm a known coder. I started doing this because I was in a call center. Carlos showed you the picture over and over again. And something that allows me to learn faster is failing faster. Like, okay, I 3 days ago I learned how to do an MCP. I didn't know what an MCP does, right? So something that you guys want to do, since you already are way ahead of me, way ahead of me, is asking, like, for example, I grab what Charlie showed you and I asked Manu, hey, how can we reverse engineer this with all of the context of the person, right? So over here, I right during this call, I told him, hey, as a non-coder, how can I do this? Could you make me a set of instructions and milestones to create this step by step, something to add in plain English? So now I have a guide. So I was like, what if I want to vibe code this? Can you write me down a step by step plan? So now I have a vibe coding plan that with the little prompts using cursor, so I can implement this, and then I will learn from the project that I had. See, so I'm building and learning all over again. Of course, I don't have how do you say point to reference this, but this is something that you guys want to implement. Like, hey, I want to build a chatbot in 1 hour. I want to do this project in 1 hour. So you want speed on execution. Make sense?
Yeah. So and for to give more value, for instance, Israel on call, he has an agency that is specialized in web design. So something that Israel could do for next week, that I'm hoping to guide him to do this, is to have this sort of data-driven campaign in which you can grab, let's say, the 14 days of Prospe AI, and you're pitching something very specific, like, hey, Mr. Agency owner, or hey, Mr. Business owner, are you down to get a free landing page or free website built, optimized for AI search, AI SEO, meaning it's going to pop up higher in ChatGPT, for instance. I'm doing this specific campaign and I can deliver within 24 hours. And then having a way to send all of those people who get a little bit of interest into a CRM, and then after 2 weeks, see which is the best type of company or lead who will be interested in AI SEO services. See how interesting that this type of stuff is, and we can automate 80% of it. So if we can automate 80% of it, why wouldn't we? Because it's like so powerful. If you can make this little machine work, Isra, then you can actually package it and offer it as an upsell. So what are your services? Let me just remake the machine that I used to get you as a client, so that then you can get more clients. So then you're doing AI SEO services, web design refreshments, and a little bit of acquisition. So it's really hard to say no to someone like that.
Yeah, it sounds really good.
Just to close the call, Samu, congrats, my friend, getting that email. Let's go. All right, my G's. See you tomorrow on the call with Frank. All right. Have a nice one.
Cheers.
GG.